everybody. KC versus PA Expert Game Day. This is gonna be a cool game. Me and Fable are here on the cast for map 1. We have KC, who are playing for a chance to get the 3rd seed in playoffs. PA are kind of just playing for Valor. Okay, they're out of playoffs, so they're mostly playing for the pride and joy of playing Valorant. But it's gonna be a good, exciting game. Going to be all 5 of the players, no subs on either side. A battle of the minds. We've seen Capybaras as the captain and MVP of the team going head to head with J-Dog, not only the IGL but also a star player on his side on PA. This has been a matchup that I believe will be great for competition. These two have been some of the best players in Expert this season, and they're going to be going head-to-head with their full 5s today as one of the last games of the season. Fable, who do you think's winning?
Oh, man. I mean, listen, I just hopped in. It's been a long time since I've been keeping up with VDC, but I got to go with my boys over at KC. Those guys never let me down, not once.
That's true. None of us on this cast are biased. Trust. Not a little bit of bias. And so I think we're both a little bit rooting for KC, but PA, they have some very good players, and I think they definitely have a shot. Map bans are coming up pretty soon here. We'll be seeing what maps are for each team. As the last game of the season, we're going to be seeing what they want to play. Map bans. I'm expecting... I know for a fact the KC are straying away from Breeze as their pick. As for PA, I think it's likely that they go for a little bit more like aim dually maps, since this is going to be more of a it's going to be less of a important game for them. I think it's going to be likely that they go towards something like Lotus, where they can sort of unleash a little bit in the individual sense, while KC are trying to bunker down and secure that 3rd pick. Breeze being banned makes sense. Both teams, I guess, aren't really looking towards Breeze. I know KC has not been big Breeze fans recently. They've had a little bit of confusion about how the roles are working out for them and just finding their performances individually. Ascent also makes sense, less individualistic. I think we're going to be wanting to see something like, a Split or a Lotus again. I think that those kind of maps, maybe Bind, are something where you can see, as I say it, PA ban Bind, but just things where you see, I expect that PA are going to run a little bit more unstandard comps, as they're trying to just have those individualistic sort of like high performing players come through on their side. KC a little bit more team oriented. Last
and what
2
map
maps,
to do it on?
What about to do it on? Lotus and Split, maybe, for the last 2. Lotus, Split, and the 3rd map possible being Sunset. Yes, Sunset. KC getting Sunset. I like that from them. They've been running a double Sentinel comp on this map in the past, which has been working out well for them, surprisingly. I don't know. It's not very standard, but KC's really made it work. And Split on the side of PA. You see a lot of double duelist on this map. I kind of expect that from them. I think this is going to be a really strong head-to-head for KC. They've had this sort of 3-man core since Wari was added into this team, where Kurumi, Wari, and Capybaras have been really putting up huge numbers for this team. On the other side, since being signed, Vibes has just been unreal on Duelist, getting those huge first bloods for the team. All season long, J-Dog has been really strong. I expect sort of those to be the players that you look out for on these teams, but it truly could go either way. Some of the best players in Expert going head-to-head in this final match day. I'm expecting some good competition here.
Same here. Sounds like it's going to be a fun one.
I'm expecting... I think on Sunset, KC likes to play a little bit slower. They've been running like a Killjoy Cypher Astra comp, if I recall.
Oh, wow.
They've been playing really slow. I kind of expect that again from them. Capybaras has liked to deviate a little bit from standard comps this season. Himself, he's played like Yoru, Neon, Astra, Killjoy. He's been sort of all over the board on what his roles have been this season. I'm expecting this kind of be a clash between more aggressive, fast-paced gameplay from PA and like Casey trying to slow them to a crawl with their double sentinel comp. It definitely leans towards those heavy side anchors on both sides, just trying to get value and stall. I think that's going to be an interesting clash on the first map. I'm excited to see how PA adjust to a very different take on Sunset from what I'm sure they've played all this season. It's looking like. Sorry, please go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, if you're mentioning Combax is gonna be potentially playing the Yoru here, I'm gonna be interested to see how that goes in and fits in with their double sentinel style of play as well.
I believe on this map, Combax is on the Astra, but in a couple of the other maps, especially earlier in the season, Combax played the Yoru. He plays a lot of characters on this team. He's kind of all over the place as their flex, and so I can see them changing it up, and I can also see them sort of just keeping things standard. Kurumi's been their like Raze only player for like this entire season. So I mean, if unless KC throw a curveball on this last match day, then I'm expecting like a Killjoy, Cypher, Astra, Raze, Gecko comp from them, which definitely leans towards on the defense again, more like anchory positions on both sides of the map, and then on the attack side, a slower default with extremity control on the Sentinels, and then just having stronger mid control. I think that's what you expect from them, and if they're calling differently than that, I think you get a little bit curious on where they're looking to go, right? If they have those double sentinels, I think the value they get is playing a slow default. And so if they're not doing that, then I think I'm interested to see like the value they get out of like a Killjoy on this map in like a side exec, because I think that's where their comp will be a little weaker. Of course, they could throw a curveball. It's the last game of the season. I know this definitely doesn't. KC is locked for playoffs. PA is locked out of playoffs. So this could be a little bit of a like a duelist fest. I could see a double duelist from both of these teams just trying to sort of unwind for their last game before the season, get some confidence. But I also think that especially Combax takes a lot of pride in his seeding, and getting that third seed would mean a lot to this team, especially changing their roster so soon before playoffs. We're going to see here in Agent Select what exactly they're looking for, but I imagine it will be a little bit more aggressive on the side of PA and a little bit more slow on the side of KC. See those hovers I was talking about? Kind of dead on here. If they do end up locking the Raze Yoru, then that is sort of what exactly we were saying with that double sentinel versus the double duelist. Worry hovering the jet. You know, he's. I played Premier with Worry when he played a lot of jet, and I can say that he thinks it's infamous, and perhaps it is. I'm not. I don't want to speak too much on his performance in those games. The Neon would be interesting.
Into that, yeah.
But that's definitely not what we've seen from Worry across this whole season. Been a smokes player into a little bit of flex for this team when Combax decides to lock Astra. On the other side, still the Yoru hover. A Harbor solo controller would be an interesting take on this map. Definitely leaning towards a faster site exec comp. Combo with the Breach as well could be really interesting. The clash between the double Sentinel and the double Duelist Breach could be really interesting to see, which would come out on top, especially in their defense side. I think they would struggle. Moving away from the Astra towards the Omen now for Josh. And these comps, I think, kind of what we were expecting. PA leaning towards a more aggressive map control comp, and KC leaning towards a more passive defaulty and anchor comp. both of these comps I would say are starting on their weaker sides, right? The double sentinel starting on attack and the double duelist starting on defense. So I think it'll be interesting to see where they go with this, especially for the pistol. I would imagine that PA are gonna go for some extremity control. Getting everything situated here, and it's looking like a 2-1-2 default probably for the side of PA, while KC is looking towards B lean, perhaps a little bit of mid control. The Cypher and the Yoru are on B for the side of PA, so they're gonna have to deal with this strip, although I don't know how much of a problem that'll be for Kurumi on the Rays. You know, I've seen Reflex miss a lot of nades on this trip, so maybe I'm a little bit too concerned about breaking the trip than I should be. Bardo getting a little bit aggressive there. The nade breaking the trip and flash going out. Fast B main control for KC. As Kurumi peeks out of the smoke. Going into the site. Bardo getting a little bit cheeky on the peek, but Kurumi spots it. Damage done. And anchor back sight for J-Dog. Trip hits one, and the flash saves Kurumi's life as a quick flood defense. Leaves a 1-for-1, and Pluto gets J-Dog. Up numbers for KC, but that's Josh with the trade and a 3v3. 3 players are low, 2 on the side of KC, and a damage advantage for PA, but that's a spam on comebacks. Ashipu down, and Kurumi sees the barrel. That's Frey with the trade. 1v3 now for Vibes, and this would have to be a great round. The first kind of a freebie on comebacks. Satchel out, and it should be a great position for Kurumi, and it is. First round, team ace for KC.
Looks like the offense is starting strong here.
I agree. A little bit of a hot streak for KC first round on the board. As we see Frey go towards the Ares. I've seen some immaculate Odin play from Frey this season, but I'm not sure about the Ares buy. A little bit Vin-esque. On the other side, a Shorty from Bardo and a Sheriff from Vibes. I think this kind of makes sense, getting a little bit more aggressive perhaps for Vibes, and the Shorty on the Yoru makes a lot of sense. You can get a sort of a one and done and still get out. Kurumi not buy up this round, and instead getting tagged down to 6 HP make it from Vibes. It's a fast A take. The other side of the map, Cypher rotating out, and 2 players towards market. It's only 2 on A. You're not expecting too much from these players, but Kurumi and Frey already down to below 50 HP. This could be potential here. Bardo should be able to get at least one with the Shorty if they come back B main. Maybe even 2 if Kurumi and Frey are the first ones up. Kurumi leading the charge, only with the Ghost. I've seen crazier things than Kurumi getting a kill with a Ghost. Double exploration on the side of A leads PA a little bit concerned about B. Top mid, it looks like, from that ping, and J-Dog breaking the trip. Maybe KC speed up a little bit. Kurumi pushing out the stun. Great from Zoheki, and the bomb is going down. Bardo back sight with the Shorty. What can he make of things? Zoheki already with one, Bardo with another, and it's all of a sudden a 2v5 make it. Bardo picks up the Spectre, and this is looking bad for KC still.
Cover going out.
Pluto and Frey. What can you do here? Ghost takes the shot. Pluto with 1. Frey with 2. The Ares making work of things. Pluto with the flick, and that's a 1v2 now for Vibes. Tap on the bomb. And the time is ticking down. Out with 1. Vibes with 1. Pluto down, and a Spectre acquired. Frey, you're known, and Vibes hits the shots. Is there time? You know there is. And that is a 1-to-1, a eco round conversion for PA. And what a round from these players.
And what a round it was, going back and forth throughout the entirety.
It was looking bad from the beginning when Kurumi and Pluto, I believe, got tagged down low, and then had Shorty from Bardo gets good damage. Zoheki with a pure classic kill, and it just kind of all falls apart. Could have been everything there. Frey really getting it done with the Ares, but at the end of the day, Vibes able to bait out Pluto, gets the shot, and has the time to defuse. A great 1v2 there from like a 2v5, but You take what you can get, and already we see a bit of an aggressive lean from comebacks towards mid, breaking that door of the smoke top mid. Now the weakness of these Astra smokes is they are a little bit faster to go away than the Omen smokes on the side of PA. Ordo holding on towards the A main angle. Meanwhile, comebacks getting curious top mid, and that's Joshy. Still 3 stars for comebacks.
Right
Easy to
there.
get out of the situation, and Joshy actually smokes himself off in top mid. Hecky in the line of scrimmage, and that's the stun gonna get comebacks. Worry already tagged down, and a little bit of damage advantage for PA. I'm liking what this breach has been able to do so far. Stalled out the push, and now KC are struggling with where to go. Karumi and Frey leaning back towards A, but you've got Bardo. The clone shot. That's a flash information, and TP's away. A side is being given up mostly. Josh and really all we're seeing. Looking like a flood
30
defense unless
seconds left.
comebacks can get something done here in mid, but that's so hacky. It's the pick early, and now 5v4 with 20 seconds left on the board, and a rotate through spawn from KC will leave them hurting for time. Knives out in main, and 10 seconds already. Rumi
10
in the open
seconds
here,
left.
and already gets the kill on Zoheki, but that is so little time. Worry has to plant the bomb himself, and that's damage. That's
Spike
kill, and
down, B.
it's no time.
Last
Josh with
player
the last,
standing.
but it's a consolation, and that's a second round with the timer expired. A little bit too slow from KC on their eco, but take what you can get. A little bit of damage, and now we see Worry has the thrash already. On the other side, Vibes picked up a showstopper. I'm expecting a little bit of a faster read here. Yeah, we're seeing 4 players towards B main. This should be a quick site exec with the thrash into a bomb post plant.
And a welcome change as well, given how many rotates there have been over on the side of KC.
Last round, very late notice on the rotate, I think. Already, fast B main control, and Frey a little bit nervous about that A main space. Orb on towards Bardo, and it's 2 players towards B, and that is a great kill from J-Dog on towards Kurumi. The one way. Reload out, and now your entry player's gone, and you still have a lurker. Not quite value, and now Vibes backs up. Casey's being stalled out in all 3 points here, and wonder where they're gonna go. Pluto putting on that turret for information in mid. Bardo gonna face and break it, it's looking like. What can you do here, Pluto? If Pluto gets an opener here, this round is wide open, but Bardo's in such a great off angle. The shot from Pluto, it connects, and what a great kill. Now, you've got the 4v4, 2 players isolated on B. Is Josh worried about the rotate here? 3 players still from KC and B main, and Pluto re-exploring mid. Gets the timing on Josh, and Josh connects.
30
Worry
seconds
jumping up on the site. Misses the jumps and cancels the ulti. Comeback, blocked out back and gets the kill! J-Dog, what was that? Now, 3v3 here. Comebacks peeking out, not quite. Zoheki with the kill. 2v3 now, and the result for retake. Worry in the open. Dodges a stun, but he's still got thrash. Mosh pit as well, and the dizzy for stall. This could be a beautiful post plant, but Frey needs to hold the line. Dizzy out, broken by Josh. A great push from PA. The thrash coming out, but it's already half from Vibes, and he's sticking the bomb.
Last player
Not quite
standing.
onto him, and they actually get the defuse. Worry, what happened here? And Vibes gets away with 2 HP. What could have been what should have been, honestly. Comebacks getting a kill he should never get onto J-Dog, but a little bit overzealous and towards Boba, and the conversion's there.
Yeah, it was looking a little bit close towards the end there, but definitely on the side of PA, able to pick up their 3rd onto this map.
Beautiful retake from them, honestly, when it looked a little bit cooked when Gombax got that 180 onto J-Dog. They were able to retake even with the ult from the side of Glory. Already Vibes getting overwhelmed by Karumi, and a fast A take.
I know
a little bit of a
exactly
switch up
where
here. We like to see that. A site being given up for the retake, and They do have the ults for it. The bomb will go down. Got a lockdown on the side of Killjoy for KC, and
Spike planted.
PA are gonna have to back up. Although when they come back for the retake, the Yoru breach ult combo is gonna be deadly. Still, man advantage of 5v4 post plant. We're gonna be using the Yoru ults. Kurumi playing close against it, doesn't get spotted, and Kurumi's gonna get a beautiful first. Keep back in, but Wori with a double. Now a 1v5, Comebacks easy kill onto Bardo, and that is a beautiful second round for KC.
Indeed. And like you mentioned, they went very quickly over towards the A site after 4 very slow rounds, all of which involved late round rotates and potentially cost each one. So we'll see how they play it going forward as well.
Yeah, we saw Wori with the collat, but really Kurumi getting past the Yoru ult, dodging it on the scan, and able to catch the other player running out of CT really ruined that push there, because you just had the rest of KC all holding towards the enemies on PA funneling out of one angle. It was just over. 3-2, a 0-3-2 split for KC in mid and A, and they're going for the Fnatic strat, but already Comebacks drop down. Very isolated, and there's 2 players holding them in market here. They'll never expect a second, and J-Dog gets Kurumi. Wori with the trade, beautiful kills from him, and a 3v3 on the side of KC. Wori's low, but he's got the Thrash once again, still with the rocket from Vibes, and Bardo in a great position. Wori with the peek out, catches a little bit of an angle onto Vibes, and the Mosh to stall. Frey has a great timing on top mid if he can just stall a little bit longer. Bardo getting held by Pluto, and that's the kill. Frey with the kill onto Vibes, and now it is a 1v2 for the side of Josh.
Last player standing.
Joshi gets Frey. Wori's on 1, but Wori gets it all. Third round on the board. A beautiful round from Wori. And what a flank from Frey, catching the timing onto Vibes, removing that rocket from the potential retake, and just a great backside pinch.
Yeah, you saw both teams going for the punch there on the side of PA with their Yoru and Raze combo, and Frey overall towards the side of KC. Really decided that round.
Definitely decided that round for sure. Although Wori's sight anchor after the bomb went down really made the difference here. 8-3 already in the first 6 rounds. Again, another fast side A take as that Thrash clearing up towards elbow. Kurumi scaling off of it, and it's not quite gonna catch Vibes. Still, the showstopper comes out, and that should be a rocket easy, and there goes Vibes. Still, 3 people up towards top mid. Make it 2, that's a clone, and be a blood retake from those 2, but 5v4 gonna be very hard to pierce here. The Yoru TP out, but Comebacks has the angle. Josh with 1. 3v4 now, and the ult coming out onto elbow, but Comebacks is already back around in mid, and he gets so hecky. 2v4 now, and Comebacks with a 3rd. Make that Kurumi another kill on the round. 4 rounds for KC, and that is 3 in a row. Talk about a hot streak. From 1-3 to 4-3. A great recover there. They had Comebacks taking the pick onto Bardo in main there on the TP. Already 1-6. A rough showing from Bardo. And then Comebacks just having the timing, wrapping around main and catching the breach, trying to retake through elbow. And that aftershock with the breach ult, just not able to give them the space they needed since their main player went down so early. Watch into main, and another fast take. They've really figured out what they need to be doing here with these fast takes. Is the anchor stall util really from PA is just not there with the double duelist. 3 players facing B main, and Kurumi. We're going to walkabouts in mid with Frey. Is there? Be trying to catch these top mid rotates, which they might do. So Hecky, a little bit curious. His Vibes going A main. It's all about trying to pull the rotates away from the B side, I think. Waiting, but already there's 3 players sitting in market, and it could be dangerous. Kurumi really has to take his pathing carefully here on the entry. If he can get back sight, it could be good, but market players retaking might be very dangerous. You see the side exec coming out and Kurumi taking the peek. If he catches the timing on J-Dog, but that blind is beautiful. Josh taken down by Pluto and Bardo again by Wari. Mid rotate coming through, catches the timing on a Frey, and J-Dog with the beautiful position. Can he get another on a comebacks? Not quite, but the stun is there. Reach peeking out, so Heki gets taken down and J-Dog with another, but Pluto with the third. Vibes now in a 1v3, and it's just not doable. The first down, though. Beautiful shots on the comebacks, and Satchel's going to get him closer, but the time is not there. And Frey has the position. There's no way you're getting clear here this late into the round, and Pluto is baiting beautifully. Frey takes the shot, and that's 5 rounds for KC. A great recover towards the second quarter of this game, as they were looking a little bit down and out after that 3-round streak from the side of PA.
Right, and ever since they made the read about needing to just go a little bit faster onto site, it's been just success over and over again over on the side of KC. It's also really allowed their defensive side comp to flourish, because once they've gotten the spike down, it's all defensive from there, and that's where they shine.
That has been where they shined. When they were playing the slower rounds, it has not been working out. Another fast round towards elbow, and Kurumi somehow hits the shot, but Vibes with the trade. Vibes with a second, and this could be a big round for PA to swing the economy, but Warrior on Joshi equalizes 3v3, and these trades going back and forth, 1 minute left on the clock. 2 players towards A for PA, make that 3, and now a little bit worried. So Heki holding that top mid angle, very curious about some rotates, but no B players. If Fori can catch a kill on the cross, or they going exploring top mid, this could be beautiful. The Cypher coming out just before, and Zoheki gets traded by Pluto, a 2v2. Pluto and Frey once again versus Vibes and J-Dog. Just like last round on the B site, Pluto and Frey versus Vibes and J-Dog. We see it again. Will it go 1-for-1, or will they take a second round in the 2v2? I'm going down, and Vibes once again has this rocket. How many rockets have we seen for Vibes? I don't know, but that timing is awful. Not quite the kill, and Vibes is jumping up. Pluto, the engagement, not a kill, and Pluto takes it. Damn, spotted into the smoke, and Frey takes the shot. How did that round happen? How did it slip away?
They try the same old tricks.
I have no idea. You're absolutely right. That should have been unlosable.
I mean, how did Pluto not kill Vibes when he was popping the ult? And then how did Vibes not kill Pluto when he shot the ult? Like, I don't understand. Another 2 rounds in a row where Pluto and Frey are able to clean up the round, and that is exactly what you need from this team. When comebacks or Kurumi isn't having a great game, Pluto and Frey turning up is really important.
My camera is destroyed.
Bardo breaking the cam, and a slow start for this map for him, but Yoru definitely shines on attack, so I wouldn't count him out just yet. The A site hit, and Kurumi beefing the satchels a little. Peeking towards upper, and that nade is going to catch Joshi. Good zoning util from Killjoy in the race. Bardo with the clone, spotted, and there's not a CT smoke, so we can't even retreat. Vibes, great nade, but the flash is better, and Bardo takes a double. Wari with the trade, and it's another 3v3. 3 ults for KC, and Frey drops Joshi. Again, Zoheki in the position to make the round or break the round. J-Dog here as well. It's not been the players that have come up big this game, but J-Dog takes Pluto, a 2v2. Wari and Frey, what can you make of things? Still great ults from KC. This post plant should be really hard to lose. The retake slowing down, and Frey drops 1. The time is low, and smart to back away, but Wari doesn't, and he drops the next. 7-3 is our scoreline from a 1-3 deficit. 6 rounds in a row from KC. Utter annihilation on these fast hits. And in the late round, every player on KC has been stepping up when they needed to. Bardo gets a magical double kill, but his team just can't convert, as Wari and Frey, they just keep dropping PA players.
Yes, this should do.
They really do. Speaking of scorelines, Wari's out here at 12-5, his 3rd ult on the half.
They talk about his jet, but they should talk about his Gecko. Unreal performance from him. Another thrash in the game. Is it 3? Is it 4? We don't know. But J-Dog's caught out and Kurumi drops him. The flash connects and Bardo gets some damage, but it's a consolation prize. The site is gone and it's a 5v4. The retake ult could be good from Bardo. The bomb going down, and they have... PA have what they need to make a run of things here, but it seems so difficult. The kills have gone towards KC every day of the week. They spot 2, and the stun is good, but there's a trip holding them. Josh comes out, and Bray drops him. Vibes, the satchel through. What can he do? And Warren gets caught out. Still, the only player left alive, and Combax drops him. 8-3.
Last round.
I don't know what to
before the
say.
switch.
These fast hits have been like... They just can't defend. With the double duelist, with the breach, their stall util just isn't there. Is it the smokes being too late from Joshi? I don't think so. If anything, like maybe they need the breach to come towards the A side a little bit more, but it's just these hits are fast and they're indomitable. You cannot beat KC when they're on a roll like this. Still, they have some guns. It's the last round of the half, and they need to win this round. Otherwise, they've lost 8 rounds in a row going into the pistol, and it would look really rough on their attack side. The Killjoy lockdown, not quite catching vibes, and the nade for damage still. Freeman getting the plant down, and already a jump up backside. Kurumi getting flashed, but the reload for vibes, and he gets the kill. Bardo with 2, though. Bardo makes it a 3rd. And this is all of a sudden very winnable. Combax and Frey. Exactly who you'd want in this situation, honestly. The Cypher and the Astra. You still have some util to work with. The tap on the bomb, but the suck gets them off. Not able to get the kill from Combax, and Joshi drops him. Leaves it in a 1v4, and Bardo with his 4th in the round. From 1-8 to 7-10, a great recovery from Bardo to make it a 4-8 half for PA.
Switching sides.
You're absolutely right. And I think I really like the switch up out of Bardo towards the end of the round there as well. Towards most of that first half, he's kind of just been playing retake after he's lost a teammate on site. But right now, he goes on to fight and help his raise and actually holds it down, getting 3 along the way.
I mean, that was just beautiful. The flash was great. Vibes jumping out of the way. Distraction as Bardo swings through and kills 3 KC players. A great play from him, and that's exactly what you need in a time like that. Bardo's supportive util, not only helping his teammate, but then setting himself up for success. On this pistol, that is exactly what they need again. They need Bardo and Vibes to be working together, maybe off of a stun from Zoheki, to be taking space aggressively, because that is what their comp is made for. This should be the better side for PA. Again, the door getting broken. This is what KC also likes to do in these mid rounds, but smoke redirecting them to top mid, and Wari and Pluto are here. The clone getting broken, and that's a flash. Nade from Vibes, taking space, but this stall is beautiful and the nade is better. Pushed out of top mid as 4 players crunch them. Now redirected back into market. Vibes, the satchel through, but Kurumi might catch him. Still, the trip broken, and they have the B site. A flood retake perhaps, as 3 players are here in Boba. Flash keeping them out, but Warren peeks out and damage onto 1. Still, the jump up from backside could be big here, but everybody's low, and J-Dog catches Combax in mid. Damage from Pluto gets the trade, and now everybody's low. Wari low, 3 from PA low, and Josh gets Frey. But every single player on PA are low, and Kurumi's here, but that's Bardo. Pluto with the trade, stun out, and a 1v3. It's not happening. It's a pistol round win for PA. What a round. They convert off of like 10 HP on every player on their team.
They really do. And like you mentioned, their synergy on the attack side with both Vibes, Bardo, and Zoheki absolutely shining there, letting the side take towards B. Exactly what we needed out of them to start this half and maybe take this map.
I mean, definitely, like, that's really what you wanted to see. Vibes, Bardo, they're rotating around in mid. When they get pushed out of top mid, they instantly go back towards market. They take the space that's open, and then this mid fight that's happening during the Flood retake that goes like 2 for 1 in the favor of PA, I'm a little bit baffled from KC. Either way, a push out from Kurumi, and he's gonna get caught by J-Dog, but that's a shot and a great opener for the side of KC. Back up and Turner broken. All of a sudden, we're seeing Warrior and Comebacks. All season, they've been sort of the stars for KC. Now, hold on with Frey, and they're trying to anchor the A site. The only man with a gun is on the wrong side of the map. Warrior peeking through, but he gets the greatest timing I've ever seen. Spam through from Vibes, not quite collecting the kill, and it's looking like a B rotate, and Comebacks can hear everything. Still, only Kurumi towards B is... Maybe he thinks it's a fake. Two are re-exploring tiles, and already we're seeing Frey rotating around. They're gonna beat the rotate here. Meanwhile, this mid exploration could catch Pluto in top mid. If they get a good timing, this should be over, and Pluto is not aware at all. So, pick out, and that's damage. How is that not a kill? And the molly is better. I'm a little bit baffled here, but Frey, the stun is about to be beautiful, but instead, it's Kurumi, it's Frey, and it is a 2v3 for PA. All of the sudden, they have man disadvantage with 10 seconds on the clock, and there's guns down in Boba. They're not controlling them.
Left.
They're going back main, and Wari might have a great flank.
Oh,
If Wari can get some... Oh, but they caught him. They caught him. Joshi with the awareness in a 2v2 now. Guns... A little bit of an advantage towards PA, but Comebacks has utility. Smoke on the bomb. And Pluto has the angle here. Spots Zoheki, but that's a headshot. And Comebacks takes it to half. Gets off the bomb. Knows there's a push. Gets the first and gets back on. The stick is going to be crazy. And Joshi Blue with the kill through the smoke.
Which is the exact thing they needed to actually bring it back. I don't see another way he could have won it.
Impossible. 0.29. That's honestly great from both sides. Comebacks should have recovered there. And then a beautiful kill from Josh. I mean, props to Comebacks. Almost wins that clutch. Would have been spectacular. Very well played by him, but the spray just a little bit too good, a little bit too fast from Joshi. And... you know, you have to wonder, like, why didn't they just retake his 3 there? You know, sending Wari to main might have been a good idea, but the awareness was there from Joshi. Kurumi spots out many. The nade coming out and the flash to deny space. Mardo. Only the shorty on the entry, and this is going to be very bad for Kurumi if they clear him, but they do. Joshi again, but Frey gets the spam through the smoke. That smoke going down. Safety. Memory of the past for Frey is the peek into the open. And this is Bardo again. Pluto drops down. Can't get the gun, though. Can't recover. And this is all of a sudden really hard to recover here from KC. A 3v4. Frey held off by a Bucky in the close angle. This flash out from Wari would have to be big, but he's not aware of Bardo. The shot misses, and Wari somehow gets that kill. Frey getting a timing on the vibes, and what went from an impossible retake to an impossible to lose retake. And the wingman on the bomb, all the PA have on their side is time, and there's nobody on the bomb. Zoheki might be able to make a run of things, and still no one on the bomb. If he can kill Frey, and he doesn't, but Frey gets the blind spam. What am I witnessing?
I have no idea. How does Frey even see him there?
Frey doesn't! It's pure blind. I mean, what a flash. Combat spinning around with the bomb. And then Zoheki decides to kill Frey. And then Frey gets this insane blinded kill. 15 and 7. Oh my goodness. A 0.29 defuse for PA into like a 0.46 for KC. These rounds are so close. Oh my goodness, what am I witnessing here? A 6-9 scoreline. KC barely recover on their bye round. And now we see a bit of a far spread from PA. Wari playing close here with a judge. And you don't expect that from the get-go, but Ardo might be getting dropped here, and this is exactly what you want. No overface Wari. And you know somebody's going to peek into you. Bardo, though, might have a read. What is going on here? The ult is going to catch Worry out completely, and no one is even thinking about going into elbow. As I say it,
Oh,
they walk into his crosshair, and he lifts everything! 3 on the board into 0. Worry gets dropped in what could have been the greatest play of the season. And Kurumi again, you see these highlights and you think he'll get 3. Comebacks again. How does this keep happening? That should 3 players on KC should have gotten 3 kills this round. And only 1 player from PA has died.
Well, like that too.
Oh my goodness. I mean, a little bit more aggression from Worry would have netted him 3. Kurumi somehow doesn't get a second off that spray. And then Comebacks somehow doesn't get either that walked into him through the smoke there. I mean, that is like an individual fumble from 3 players on KC.
It really is. And after they've been playing so well together recently too.
Their setup was good. Their positions were good. They were all in position to get 3 kills, and they got 1. I mean, what is happening in this
They
server?
will scurry, and then they will
It's
die.
the judge for me. I think that's the most surprising. 4 targets. Oh, man.
Dude, only one of them had like their gun out. There were 3 people like staring at the wall. I don't even I don't know.
Man, Vanity is watching from
That is a Soulcast delete the game moment. Like, I don't understand. There are some consolation prizes here. Kurumi has the ult. Worry is 2 off of it. Pluto's 3 off the ult. So like in the future here, KC is well set up to have money and ults. But right now, Comebacks timeout, I can't even imagine what he's saying. This timeout must be a we need to calm down. That has to be what it is, because there's not an adaptation you could make that would have won you that round. This round, I can see you going to switch things up. Frey's the only person with a gun, kind of needs to save this round, right? Like you kind of need to bring this gun over, otherwise Frey's econ's cooked. But like, I think if I'm KC, right, you're calling to get some, you're calling to get an orb on Worry. So the tech pause here from the side of PA, looking like a disconnect from Joshi. It's been very stellar on the side of PA, but I mean, this half has been wild.
It's been a good back and forth, and PA's been, generally speaking, on the recovery towards making this map competitive. So
I
we do have
agree.
something to look forward to.
I mean, 8-3 to 9-7. This is shaping up to be a very competitive half. Bardo has really turned things around. The kills have been here for Bardo, the assists as well. I mean, you're really looking towards the Yoru and the Breach for the supportive util on this comp, right? You don't have a second initiator. You don't have a second controller, right? So like Bardo is expected, I think, a lot in terms of those flashes, and most assists in the server. That's what you're getting, right? Really turned this game around. And I think, if you're on the side of PA, all you want is for J-Dog to get a little bit more out of the lurk. And then I think you're expected to win this game. From what we're seeing from both of these teams, unless we see more out of Comebacks and Kurumi, then I think PA are on track to bring this back, right? You're finally seeing Bardo turn it up. Vibes and Joshi have been nothing but money for this team. And as much as I think Frey and Worry have played out of their minds, especially Frey, right? And as well as Pluto in those late round moments, you need to see more out of Comebacks and Kurumi for KC to continue with their lead. They've already dropped 3 rounds this half. And I think, like, if anything, they need to be thinking about just, like, let's get a little bit more confidence. Because especially when we have guns, we're playing really passive, which is, like, what you are expecting from the Killjoy and the Cypher. But you need the Rays, especially, to be getting more active on the defense against these fast-hit comps. Because otherwise, you're going to get rolled over on the site.
No, you're absolutely right. And it looks like Karumi's just picked up this showstopper off of last round as well. So he's got an excellent tool to use.
Yes, I mean, KC should be looking to have Karumi get active with this stinger, and potentially get Wari an ult orb. If Wari can get an ult orb and die, then you're set up very well for a retake or even like an extremity push off this showstopper and the thrash. Still, PA, to say nothing else, they've had a great half, but having to deal with tech issues in the middle of sort of your like comeback into the game is not great in terms of your momentum, right? They're having to sort of like cool it down a little bit when before they were just like rushing out, rolling over KC, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have to slow things down a little bit, get situated, right? Their players dealing with like PC issues, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's if that contributes to them having to like slow it down a little bit, get situated again. Of course, they could just keep running over the sites. You know, vibes 2 off the ult. Could be expecting a showstopper v showstopper next round. But I don't think KC don't need to win this round. But I think they really want someone like Kurumi or Combax to get a kill or two here, just for the confidence, right? You know, as much like I think Combax is very good at keeping like good mental, but when you're blowing a lead like this, and you're bottom fragging as the community ranked #1 expert player, it's tough, right? Because you're expecting more out of Combax. Sun catching Karumi. This is bad. This is not good. And Zoheki alone in B main dropping 2. Already, those 2 players that I was talking about getting more confidence, both are out of the round.
Is really not what you want to see over on the side of KC.
Wari having to play damage control, shutting off part of the map, and Ordo rightfully breaking that door. Wari stuck in between a rock and a hard place here on the B bomb site, and 1-1-1 spread from KC does not give you confidence. Frey probably just gonna sit and elbow this round and save, but you really, really, really want Wari to get a kill. If Wari gets a kill, then KC looks really good next round. The showstopper expended, and that's really nice for both sides, right? You want PA just getting the free round here.
One enemy
Not
remaining.
great from Wari, and there goes 2. Frey should just be choosing to save here, and it looks like she is. I mean, the upsides here, you've got the showstopper. I've heard a lot about the rounds Combax calls around his Astro Wall. They should be set up decently well, especially if they can take like early B main control and get that orb for Wari, right? If they do that, I think that would set them up really nicely for a flood retake off of the ults. I mean, if Frey gets dropped, this is all of a sudden really rough for the recon. But I don't think Frey's getting dropped in this position unless Bardo hits a really good shot.
Crosshair might be just a smidge too high here, actually. Never mind.
Quite. And that is an 8th round for PA. That was nice. You know, they expended the showstopper, but it's really just making like locking in the round essentially. It's fine to use one ult, right? You want to keep the momentum going. You got the player coming back. You just like 100% sure, hey, we're using this ult, we're winning this round. Now, again, we're seeing a B main lean. The Cypher not towards B, where it's, you know, potentially better, but instead you've got Pluto and Combax. They're gonna have to defend against what's looking like 3 players from PA. Door getting closed by Pluto, and Combax is in the position to make or break the round. Fake TP, trying to bait out a rotate perhaps, and the bomb is leaning towards B. They can get one off this 3-man mid explorer. All of a sudden this round could change. For right now, might even be looking like they might use this Omen ult. Vibes Trying to take this space on his own and catches Pluto off guard. Backs up into the smoke and comebacks.
Just barely avoiding
Not
the
going
timing.
for the spam.
Need that
Timing not quite perfect for him, and
Without pulling
dodges the boom bot. That's great, but again, that smoke going down, just dodging the timing. Although it is a 4v4, 2 players are died.
30 seconds left.
Tomfoolery was happening. The A bomb site is gone, and Frey is about to get caught out in mid. Nade, perfect, and how does Frey live? Alrighty.
Planted.
Everybody's happy. It is a 4v3 retake. Vibes left off in mid, and rightfully so. Frey just avoiding that top mid cross. Astra Wall for the retake. Gecko Wolf for the retake. And the Showstopper for the retake. They should have everything they need for this round. The Breach ult catching out Karumi. This off angle, he hits the shot. And Vibes and...
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness, Vibes. In the position, but Wari gets a third. What was that shot from Karumi?
Especially after 4 ults invested into the round. That's hefty, but you're glad to see it. Really important to stop the momentum there over on the side of KC, and it goes all according to plan, I suppose.
Absolutely. That retake, exactly what you wanted from them. I don't know how much value they got from the Astra Wall, but everything else, I think they got a kill off the Showstopper. The Thrash was able to clear out all of the sight and some of Elbow. How does Karumi get a kill through the stun? That is like a Raven cosplay if I've ever seen one. I truly...
His gravestone.
I just don't know how that happens. With the Phantom nonetheless. Vibes. Coming out and Comebacks drops him. The star player in the spam, not quite. Bardo gets the trade nade 4v4. Damage dealt, but the flash is perfect. How is he alive? How does Karumi get one? Still, 2v3 for KC. Wari and Frey. I would say the people you want in this situation, but no smoke on the bomb is really difficult. His flash not going to connect, but it doesn't tell them anything about where these 3 players are. J-Dog, Zoheki, and Joshipu. The time is just not here for KC. They're going to have to save. And it's going to be down to a 1 differential here. Wari going for a ninja defuse almost. And the time is truly not here. They might not even save. The Odin breaking the door fast enough. They will be able to get away from the bomb here. And it looks like all 3 players are going to keep their guns unless Zoheki gets a little bit too curious.
I hate waiting.
Beautiful. Goodness gracious. A 8-3 lead into a 10-9 lead, and you really starting to feel like it might slip away from KC here. Keep in mind, they have to 2-0 to secure a 3rd place seed in playoffs. If they lose this map, they're probably gonna throw the next map. Frey not setting up on this round. Casey do not look together right now.
Grenade!
Yeah, it might be time for a timeout on their side.
I agree.
Bomb buddy.
A contact A is very good from PA. This call from J-Dog working out tremendously so far. 3rd player pulled off of the A-bomb site, but Wari is a little bit worried about that top mid cross. Still, none of these A players have gotten pushed up very much, and your ult is going to tell them that it's an A hit eventually. It's turret. And Karumi jumping out to get that nade. What am I watching from Bardo when he drops Karumi? The flash from Wari connects onto 2, but Joshipu swings out and kills him. Every player on KC is trying to be the hero to save the round, but maybe it's that turret. Oh my. Okay. Damage control from comebacks. And it's the 3v4 retake with the lockdown. They can clear out Bardo. They know where one is. Comebacks drops Bardo, and the defuse could happen here. Joshipu drops comebacks, and that smoke's gone. That's a man down, and J-Dog gets Frey as well. Oh my goodness. KC look
I found
terrible.
them. I killed them. Simple as
Truly,
that.
what am I watching from this double sentinel comp? I understand Frey not putting down the main trip, dodging the nade, whatever. We're seeing 2 players on the A bomb site running out alone instead of waiting for the retake. Kurumi runs out and dies. And then Wari runs out without a flash. Connects one on the flash in elbow.
Yes.
Gets dropped by one of the other 3 people in elbow. They are not together at all right now.
Hero
And the buy,
like you said.
I expect this in my opinion should be a 13-10 or a 13-11 for PA. This should be an 11-10, right? They're winning the. I did like what? KC need to change something.
There.
I feel like I'm watching a ranked game from KC, and PA's calling has been good enough to beat ranked players. Yeah. Another B round. They're taking the bomb back towards A. And
Game.
if anything, this could potentially be kill from Wari. He's in enough of a range to get a kill off this stinger, and he's gonna go for it instead. No connect off of it. The stun not quite on, and he sees 3 players from PA on the A bomb site. Like everybody towards PA, towards A, and 3 players from KC.
30 seconds left.
Wari backing away from that paranoia, and did Kurumi not hear the satchel? But what a shot from Kurumi. Wari
Spike planted.
potentially getting cleared out by Bardo, and instead he drops him. That cam broken as well, but the gun is not recovered. A 4v3 retake, but Zoheki drops Kurumi. 3v3 now, and comebacks with just a sheriff. He can connect one. That would be enough. J-Dog down from Frey. You need a smoke on the bomb, and it's Wari with the kill. A 3v1. This is exactly what you need. Zoheki, 1v2. Double flashes, but Frey is better. An eco round conversion from the side of KC. Purely off the back of PA's over exploration in the post plant,
But I'll try.
getting dropped.
And a fair bit of team play as well over on the side of KC, I think.
Definitely. The retake was great there, but it's never happening with 2 sheriffs and an Ares, right? Like, Wari picking up a gun is like just so rough, and then they get the space, they don't get pushed out of CT. Kurumi gets caught, and then the retake just comes through. Those 1v1s were great, and the positioning was really good on that retake. I liked what I saw from KC, but you can't over-represent how bad the post-plant exploration was from Bardo. Dropping that gun was really critical in KC's round win. This turret, very confusing positioning, but vibes still gonna break it. That's fine. You weren't probably gonna get around that. 3 players towards A, and Molly getting broken. They know vibes is here. That's kind of all they know, and Kurumi has the angle on the smoke. Not quite connecting from Pluto, and J-Dog might take a beautiful timing here, but a little bit too cautious. Still 2 players on B, as PA lean 4 towards A. Defense is gonna have another Gecko ult for retake, as well as the Astro Wall. They can get vibes rocket out early here. To be another great retake. Kurumi 1 off of the showstopper, and Pluto still not connecting on that spray. And what in the world is happening in upper? The elbow push out, and Pluto not getting killed again by that ult. Bardo and Vibes taking down picks. 3v5 now. Wari staying alive again in CT. 2 players re-clearing up mid. They're just ignoring J-Dog, and I like that call, but Vibes drops both. As Wari alone in a 1v5 with the Thrash. What can you make of things? Not quite there. Not the shot on Bardo when he drops him. 11-11. Once again, Vibes is making these rounds for PA. And another tech pause to just stomp all over their... Just to stomp all over their What's the word I'm looking for, Fable?
Listen, I wish I could tell
Momentum,
you.
momentum. Stomp all over their momentum. There we go. That was tragic.
Fortunately so. Especially on the side of KC there. Vibes really just saw Bardo's performance in the previous round and went, you know what? Let me show you how a duelist push into CT is actually done. Picking up, I think, 4 on the round there.
3 or 4. That was just a great round from Vibes, and now, I mean, you still have those retake ulti, the Showstopper and the Thrash and the Astro Wall from the defense here on KC. Only one off Yoru ult here from PA, but I mean, when PA push A site, they win A site. That's what PA stands for, push A right now. It's just been, I mean, if you look at the timeline, it's like, when did they push A? There's 3 defuse wins for KC, and that's when KC had ults, or when they got a little bit lucky on what PA were doing in their A push, right? Like, this has been an A push simulator for pretty much the entire half. Save for a couple rounds on B, like 1 or 2. You know, J-Dog getting good timing into the top mid, and Vibes just Vibes with the ults, not connecting again onto Pluto, but this time around Pluto does not get the kill. Nice shots from Vibes there to convert, and evening the score line. This would be, I mean, I don't think that either teams are like 100% like locked in on this game so much, right? I don't like, this game isn't super important to either of them. I think Combax will be mad at himself if he loses this game, just because of how stellar he has been for this team this season. Seeing him 13 and 16 on the scoreboard, a little bit rough. On the other side, they're playing for pride and for valor, but oh my goodness, PA should be proud, right? Vibes is dominating, and this comeback they've had from 8-3 down has been tremendous. Bardo has really turned around his individual performance. Joshy and Vibes have been tremendous. The utility to push back the flood retakes from Zoheki has been great. And in the rounds where J-Dog has been able to get space on the lurk, he's just ruined these flood retakes from KC. I think they've been really cohesive as a team, even when one of them isn't having a very strong performance, whether that's Bardo or J-Dog. In these halves, it's been kind of one of them for most of this game. You know, they've really figured out how to like play around KC's setups. And on the side of KC, I think you're expecting more from a defense with 2 sentinels, right? Like, I don't think they're getting really anything out of the Killjoy util besides that top mid alarm bot. Whereas, you know, on their attack side with a Killjoy, I felt like they were doing a lot more with the Killjoy util in terms of those mollies when they were execing to push back players potentially taking timing through the smoke. If anything, they did a better job with Killjoy util on attack side than they have on defense, even though Killjoy is an anchor character.
Listen, I guess we've just simply never seen Vito do his thing.
You know what? Maybe not. Vibes already dropping Karumi. And Compact's getting one of the stun, but Vibes is nade perfect. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v4. And there goes Pluto Frey once again in a clutch situation with an Odin, essentially forced to back away. Has more money than last time.
Spike planted.
But more money, more problems. 4 enemies on the other side of the scoreboard, and Vibes is still alive. The round is over. Ordo holding the angle, and that is a shot from Frey, but consolation prize. Should not be expected to get much more than that. Vibes holding the close angle and potentially taking a timing on this cage. Frey backing away. This has been a really difficult half for KC as it reaches 12-11. I mean,
Match point.
I think that they need a pace change, right? We've seen almost nothing in terms of mid-round like deep exploration from Kurumi. I think we've really like literally not even once seen like Kurumi and Wari pushing out somewhere on defense. I think that's what you should be expecting here. Maybe in mid, maybe picking one of the extremities. Like we have literally never seen that from KC. And I think that's what they're missing. Where they're just getting run over on the sites somehow.
Here.
Oh, not clearing call. Oh, the comeback stops out. Okay. Comeback gets the flick shot. Nade damage, and that is another kill from comeback.
Spike down.
Kurumi missing the ulti, and that's Pluto's nade getting damage. Talk about a killjoy. Talk about value. At 12-11, that killjoy setup finally getting value for KC in a 4v2 with the bomb down. If they throw away this round, they truly were never meant to be third seed. J-Dog getting exploration in mid, but Frey nails the shot. A 1v4 for Zoheki, and that is the Gecko ult catching a timing, but it's not enough, and Combax gets a third. We're going to overtime.
Just barely. I wasn't sure if we were gonna make
Switching
it, but
sides.
looks like we're finally here.
We made it here off the back of the first piece of Killjoy util getting value on defense side.
Just really what you want to be seeing.
Maybe accept the alarm bot top mid. I can't be too negative, right? I think they've had some decent ideas, but especially on the A site, that Killjoy was not giving them either the information or the anchor value that they needed. Moving into the B site, they got a lot more. But as for overtime, if there's ever a side you're expecting KC to win on, for some reason with a double sentinel comp, it's attack. But they look to be in the worst possible position on the map as there's 3 players and a stun nade combo coming their way. Vibes. Barreling down main. Combax gives away his position, but he hits the shot. An opener 2 seconds into the round as KC takes a 5v4 man advantage. Not slowing down, they take the rest of B main as Zoheki and Josh have to back away. Still, the Cypher setup is not here. If they notice that, then they're golden. Frey, mid player. Everybody has rotated B, and Frey hasn't caught a whiff of it. J-Dog backing up into A as PA is a little unsure of what's going on. Meanwhile, not a single player has any clue what's going on in top mid. Not KC and not PA. 3 players on the B bomb site and 4 in B main. This clash may well decide this game. Joshipu holding the angle. Only player on an active angle on this site. If Josh gets dropped, it's all of a sudden a 3v5 retake. Kurumi catches him, Wari with the flash, the Molly backside, and it's a reposition from Josh. The catch is absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Zoheki with a kill through the smoke, and Bardo has the angle. Backside, space taken, and already it's a 4v3 for KC. Backing up, and Wari has the thrash, but J-Dog gets taken down by Pluto. Frey gets the lurk pick, and this thrash is everything, but it gets instantly broken. A 2v3. If they can retake this, KC are over, but Wari nails the shot, and Frey nails the other. It's a 13-12 match point.
Match point it is.
Switching
Wari
sides.
and Frey really fighting
Match
to
point.
bring our side KC over there.
Absolutely, and I mean, say what you will about his performance for most of this game, Combax has really turned up. Combax, Wari, and Frey have been money in the last few rounds, and Wari especially getting the trades that round, able to get his team out of sight, and I have to say, the retake just didn't make sense from PA. You had Bardo already out backside, but meanwhile, one of his teammates was like not even in market yet. Like they were still rotating through mid. The timing was off. PA maybe got a little bit ahead of themselves, but now it's 1 round away. Bardo exploring elbow, and their KC is giving up A site. Somehow they're better at retakes than anchoring sites with a double sentinel comp.
Closed.
I don't know, but they've figured it out. And that's what they're going for. This trip, playing for a kill. And Frey gives his position away. The spam not quite connecting onto the plant, and
Cage trigger.
no damage Meanwhile, the cam catching nothing, and two players are already running out of short. J-Dog drops Pluto and backs away in mid. Worry gets one, but Zoheki gets another. And now Vibes gets dropped by Frey, a 3v3. All of PA is low. This could be it. J-Dog, the late player in main, has the idea and comebacks, nails it. J-Dog, dropped in main. This is the round. This is your value, J-Dog. This is why you were on that team, but the spam is off and the reload is there halfway on the bomb and ran into the smoke, but comebacks drops him, and that is a 14-12 win from KC. How did they bring that back?
Invaders win. It's good.
What a back and forth.
An 8-3 lead into an 11-12 round, into a 14-12 win. Truly a roller coaster of emotions. But that is KC coming out on top. And Vibes also coming out on top of the scoreboard. PA desperately close to snagging a map from KC, but instead, in overtime, they take it. Frey, 25-10. A lovely turn up from the side anchor. Although, KC really didn't do a lot of anchoring.
It really did.
I really don't understand what their comp is going for. But they made it work. They made it work.
You saw the value that Killjoy was getting on the attack side there. Those are some good mollies.
Yeah, the Killjoy on attack side maybe a little bit overlooked, but either way, what a match. I feel like every time I cast, I see a comeback, and this was no different. You can't call that a fake comeback. That was PA really turning out individually. They were matching KC, especially Vibes. You know, we talked before the game about his duelist play, and you can't overstate it. You know, a month ago, Vibes and Zoheki joined this team, and they've been nothing if not amazing for PA. Despite them missing playoffs individually, these two have brought a lot to this team, and you see it on the scoreboard. Vibes dominated that game.
He really did.
You know, the next map, we're gonna see how it goes. You know, maybe Vibes slows down. My prediction, Vibes slows down a little bit, but the next map coming up soon here. Stay tuned. KC versus PA, final match of the season.
Stand on a minute, I'd come to 3. Let me marvel at your babe. Show me your will. Now my eyes are ready for love. I carried you deep, cradled you closely within me. Would hate it all. Couldn't stand another minute. I count to 3. My eyes are ready. My eyes are ready. My eyes are ready.
Welcome back to KC versus PA Expert. We are coming in for map 2, which is split. We just saw a 14-12 overtime victory for KC. What are your thoughts, Worry? Not Worry, sorry. What are your thoughts, Fable? I don't know who I'm talking to.
Listen, I'll do my best to do my Worry cosplay there. Yeah,
Do
you
your
know,
Worry impression.
I'm real sad that I couldn't get more than 11 plants in on that map. That was really a shame out of being on that gecko, but you know, I'll take my
This
wins
is your
where I can
Worry
get 'em.
impression?
Listen,
This is
you're
your
right.
dude-
It's not high pitched enough.
Here,
Gotta
wait,
work
wait.
on it.
Well, here. Howdy, y'all. My name's Worry. All right. You know, we're gonna see some good epic gameplay from both of these teams. KC starting once again on the attack side, and PA starting on the defense. I don't really know what to expect for these teams, but what I will say is that I think this should be a very good game. You know, I would say Vibes looked very good on the Rays. I would assume that Vibes is once again playing the Rays. We are going to see in the Agent Select in just a moment here. Agent Select. And Karumi is already locked in on that Rays. Sticking to the Rays insta-lock that we have seen from him all season long. On the other side, only J-Dog hovering that lone Astra. Would be interesting to see an Astra on this map compared to Combex's Astra on the last. And this is what I want to see. Combex on the Yoru would be fun.
Or the ISO, it looks like.
Or the ISO on the other side. A lot of,
Deadlock
dare I
with a
say,
neon
meme
top.
picks. You know, I love a good deadlock comp, but this just doesn't seem like the map for it. I wonder if they're gonna play. I feel like they could play the Neon here. Neon's good. On the other side, seeing pretty standard stuff. I'm just gonna ignore Combax's hover, because he can't op.
You heard it here first, folks.
You did hear it here first. Combax can't op, and Nico's wife owns him. The lock on the Yoru, kind of what I was expecting from him. He's a little bit of a Yoru one trick, except he doesn't have any tech. L player. On the other side, they might actually be locking the Reyna, and they are. Okay, so a no duelist comp here: Astra Viper, Deadlock, Reyna, Raze.
Double
I don't know what to think.
Double duelist, double controller.
One a deadlock. Interesting. Interesting is all I can really say to that.
Interesting is the word that came to mind. Yes.
On the other side, pretty. I don't know about normal, but pretty normal in terms of KC. You've got Worry on that patented Omen that he loves to play. Frey again on the Cypher. Kurumi on the Raze, Pluto on the Gecko, and Combax on his signature Yoru. Vibes, I'm really looking towards Vibes again in this map. Was definitely a star on the entry in the last. I'm interested how they position their defense. Obviously, we're seeing the Deadlock towards B and a Viper towards mid. Without the Initiator or Util for info, I think they're going to struggle on the defense in terms of rotates. But we'll see. KC love to just run it down on the bomb site, and so info might not be that required. Kurumi separated from the team, and Worry just jumping through. Combax already towards screen. J-Dog drops down, get a first, and he gets a second. Vibes drops Combax, and this is looking beautiful. 1v3 for Frey. But stuck out in the open here on ramp. You can get the first. This could be beautiful, but it's Vibes instead. First round on the board. PA pick up the pistol. A good round from them. And really, if KC want to run it down on the bomb site, like I think their comp is kind of made to, then all of a sudden your lack of info isn't really that bad. You've got an Astra Viper Deadlock comp to try and anchor a bomb site, which is actually very good.
It's the perfect counter, some might say.
Yeah, I mean, it could be better if it was a Killjoy Cypher comp like we saw last time, but the defense didn't work for them, so why should I expect it to work for PA? You know, this comp, I like it as a counter. A very heavy mid fight, and Bardo, thanklessly drops Combax. 4 players in mid, and what are we gonna see here? Pluto hitting Nancy and clearing out that box. We see another mid exploration, and Worry drops, not quite Pluto actually, and Zoheki gets 3 as Joshi drops Worry, and that is a good second round.
Most of the guns carried over as well. Unfortunately,
very little damage.
Viper, though.
Very little damage, but the Viper Orb is not super big value. On the other side, really nothing to write home about for KC. Sort of a mismatch of light shields and heavy shields, and a Bulldog for Worry. The Econ, maybe not the best. Should be expected to win this. 4 players towards B main, and nobody is on the B bomb site for PA. 3 towards mid again, and looking to control that with the Deadlock wall.
Cutting
that TP play once again, and stun getting figured out. Frey, those mid rotates, and Convex is already out back. Gravnet catching absolutely everything, and J-Dog is in the position. Joshi with the first. All of a sudden, there's 4 people here. Bardo drops Pluto.
Down B. Sensor tricked.
Combax gets a consolation prize and make that a second, but he's 1 HP. Frey with another, but the bomb is stranded in no man's land. See Joshipu. And Bardo. Joshipu holding on to the bomb here. And what in God's name is that? But he gets the flick shot!
What?
All of a sudden, Bardo's position scary, and both players have their knives out! What am I watching? But it's Frey. And everything's coming up KC in their first round win. And we're starting things off exactly how we finished them on last map, with some absolutely insane rounds. What was that shot from Comebacks? What was that 2v4? Was it from Frey and Comebacks? How did we end up with that?
This should do.
How did that happen? I mean, great kills to start the round from PA on the flooding KC members, and then some great 1v1s. One on 1 HP there from Comebacks. Bardo drops Comebacks already, and J-Dog with Kurumi. All of a sudden, memories of last round seem so far away. Frey with the first, and Vibes might be getting caught out mid here, but friends are there to help him, and should be fine. 3 players in the vent, and really just J-Dog. Despite the man advantage situation for PA, not really looking like they can convert off of this, but Worry forgets there's no smokes down. Buddy, that's your job. So, exploring up ramp here, and be exactly what KC need is 2 players are already towards the bomb site. That's smoke timing. Push them back into main, and a 2v4 for Frey and Pluto. They were winning 2v2s last map, but this might be a little bit too much to ask for them. Still, Bardo. If you get a little bit too deep here, all of a sudden, be very winnable for KC. Push up, but you can crouch under that trip, and Pluto takes the 1v1. Shoulders spotted from both, and
30
back
seconds
up.
left.
30 seconds, and you're seeing Vibes rotate over towards A. Every player on scratch that, Vibes still B. So they're gonna have to kind of save this round. It's looking like they're playing for picks as Pluto with the bomb is retreating back into lobby, and
10 seconds
looking
left.
like a 3-round scoreline for the side of PA. Interesting. Not exactly what we want to see from them. Instantly, both duelists getting dropped down in the A main choke. You saw exactly how powerful that Seize was from J-Dog in that ramp area as they catch out Comebacks and Kurumi and get a free 5v3 round win.
That should win.
Once again, 5-man positioning towards A from KC, and we're hoping to do a little bit better than last time. Only J-Dog in towards A, as there's 3 players in mid again, and Joshipu stranded alone in B. If there's ever a round where you take A space, it's this one, Comebacks. Let's see what you can do. J-Dog stranded. That C's beautiful. 4 players stuck in it. J-Dog drops the first. Comebacks, no space gained, but they have ramp, and here's Zoheki. How big can a crosshair be? Instead, it's Kurumi. Walked out, and you can kind of figure out what J-Dog's doing by looking at that smoke. Instead, Kurumi all the way backed up, but he doesn't quite hit. He gets hit, though. That flash is beautiful, and Worry drops him. All of a sudden, 4v4 equalized, but Kurumi's low, and they're all around the board. PA. Everywhere and nowhere all at once. Stuck on the site, and Worry's dropped. Main positioning, and that's an ult. That's an ult that grabs onto Pluto. And Kurumi gets him out just in time. Bardo drops Frey, and it's a 2v4. And that ult gets everything. It gets absolutely everything except Joshipu, who drops the other 2 from behind. They were so close yet so far, and it's a 4th round on the board. Goodness gracious. First, they get all stuck in the choke. Next round, not only do they get stuck in the choke, but then they get corralled into sight as PA constrict on them like a snake from all 3 angles. They're coming in from screens, from heaven, and from main, break the trip, and there's no flank watch. I mean, there's nobody there to play off of the trip. So everybody's stuck on site, they're being corralled in, and they just get rolled over by PA's retake there. That was beautiful. Orban mid, and smoked deny a little bit of info is Hecky. Tantalizingly close to Worry and Bardo. Already there, but the trade swings out, but doesn't quite catch one, and Zoheki controlling that space. Seized by his teammate, and
Spike down B.
it's a bit of a tell. Vibes stuck out into the space, and Combax.
Cutting through.
Does anybody know you're here? They absolutely do, and there he goes. 2v4 now, Worry, with the Stinger in main. What can you make of things? Vibes is very close to you, and can't tell if these were the crosses these last game, or this is a bit of a troll.
One enemy
Either way,
remaining.
they're doing very well, and Zoheki drops Frey. The bomb picked up, and Worry dropped down as a 5th round on the board for PA.
Keeping it very clean as well throughout most of this half.
Absolutely. Each player on that team only dying a couple times. As for KC, it's not looking good. Although, Combex and Kurumi both with their ults, they can make a combo play. They need a round win. This comp excels on the attack side. Already, we're seeing a dimensional drift coming out from Combax. Baits out the stuns, and it's only Joshipu here. Breaks both of them. Dimensional drift, ending up in alley, and facing
there.
2. Molly.
Spike
Akai
planted.
connecting on Joshi, and what is this face from Combax? There goes. There he goes. Wow, Kurumi trying to trade off his teammate. The satchel coming through. An ult. Finally a connection, but Zoheki drops Pluto. 3v2 now as
One
Worry
enemy
gets him,
remaining.
and there goes Zoheki. J-Dog, 1v3. What can he make of things? But he gets a great timing out of Kurumi. Make that a 1v2. 2 stars left, but time is ticking. And you do here.
Obscuring vision.
Trip is beautiful. Worry's position is better. And even though Frey's dead, Worry's not. He's here and he's ready to play a 2nd round on the board for KC at a time they desperately needed one.
Desperate is right. Looking at the economy here, it doesn't even look like they're going to be able to get full buy going into this next one.
Absolutely not. On the other hand, you've got Pluto, 1 off of the Thrash. Should be able to make a run of things. If you combo that Thrash with an Omen teleport onto the detained player, you could get a good
Where are you?
kill advantage and set yourself up potentially for the round win. On the other side, Bardo with the operator. On B main, just holding down the angle. Kurumi ran up to Vibes and he drops him. Now only J-Dog, the vent player. So Hecky here to play in that Namali. Not quite catching out one, but Kurumi gets the trade. Comebacks. Once again, making a mockery, and Bardo gets Worry in mid. Still getting caught out by that mid player, and Kurumi makes a 3rd. It's exactly what you need in J-Dog. Stranded once again in a 1v3. I mean, if J-Dog gets a clutch right here, this half is over. KC's economy's cooked. PA's ults are good. PA's money's good. But that's a lot to ask from J-Dog. Great start to the first map from him. But the timer ticking down. You've got a Thrash to contend with. I mean, if Kurumi can catch him in mid, we're 1 off the showstopper. But instead, J-Dog. Good shots in that camera. Spawning absolutely everything. Mosh pit denied. And he's just going to save the operator as we go into the next round. 3-5 is our score as KC strike back with 2 rounds of their own. Kurumi's 1 off his ult here. So we can expect something... A bit of a... I would expect a B main control play here on the side of KC, but instead... Heading over towards A. Worry potentially going for another mid lurk. We're going to try our luck again with a convex space play.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Over towards the other side, a
Let's make
very
some
weak
chaos.
buy going to this defensive round as well.
Definitely. Despite how good J-Dog has been, a Sheriff might not be enough. As Vibes gets crushed in on, but there goes Kurumi. The Bucky sings its song perfectly and a kill advantage found. That nade spacing, damage done, and the flash not quite connecting. And Vibes can cross over, and he does. Already a cage. Vibes back across. This is exactly what we want on PA. 3 guns versus 4. Zoheki perfectly positioned outside of B to catch Worry's lurk. But if Worry can get a flick shot, this turns the tides of the round like truly nothing else. But it just doesn't look doable here. Zoheki is so close and so well set up. Worry, the man to not quite get it done with the judge last game versus Zoheki. Young blood with the judge. What can you make of things? So close. This mid fight almost gonna take the eyes off the matter, and Worry hits the shot. Oh my goodness, Zoheki. C's not quite catching.
30
Joshifu
seconds left.
swinging out. You can get the trade on the Worry. This catches everything, but there goes comebacks. Meanwhile, Bardo spacing bad in mid, has to break the wall. J-Dog stuck in towards the back
planted.
of Ali. A 4v3 for KC, but Worry is tantalizingly low on health. There goes Pluto. Vibes with the first. That operator peeking over, and there goes Worry, and there goes comebacks. Oh my goodness, it's Frey against 3. J-Dog couldn't, and Frey, the operator, sings its song, but it misses. Vibes with the first. Vibes with 4. That contact, bit of a whiff here from both sides, but at the end of the day, it's a 6th round on the board for the PA defense. A timeout from PA. I think if you're PA here, you're very happy. You're winning some rounds. I think what you want is to move Bardo's operator over towards A, right? You haven't seen a lot of early round picks from the op because it's been positioned mostly towards B main. That round, I believe it was in mid, but I think you throw Bardo and probably Zoheki over towards A, reverse the setup where you have let Joshipu play mid and have J-Dog finally leave the A site. Just sort of throw comebacks calling off. Obviously, they've been pretty static on their setups. You have the Viper's Pit, but against these weaker buy from KC, I don't know if you want to commit that. On the other side, you have the Thrash and the Showstopper for KC. If anything, I think they're going to be going for a save round here because of the economy. But if they do try to make a run of things, they have the tools to break into the site. Plus, Pluto, after collecting the Thrash on the first hit, may be able to take some space in that second wave of utility. So, we're looking at a 5-man stack over towards A for KC. And Bardo finally repositioning the op over towards A. J-Dog still staying on A site. I like this reposition. I don't know if they're going to expect it from KC. And comebacks. Taking the cross. Bardo can catch an angle here. Great.
Oh yeah!
Instead, a Thrash coming through to push everybody off the angle. And a Showstopper to take the site. First satchel went to miss, but the second was perfect, and there goes J-Dog. Sight open and a gun for Kurumi. Make that a death for Kurumi as Bardo takes him down. The trade, a 4v4. Bardo holding that angle. Comebacks not quite, but what is this timing? And the shot is even better. Bardo makes up for it. Not quite the ult, but every single player on KC is playing off-site, and this plant might not be perfect, but the ult certainly is. Now, Worry clearing up heaven, realizing the whole team is in the site, and Joshipu just sticks it. 7 rounds, a great retake, very big value from the ult, and you just have to ask, where was the spacing? Where was KC? Why were they in main?
Really not making good use out of their guns that round for sure. Playing staggered like that?
Absolutely not. I mean, when you have 2 or 3 players with really nothing going for you, it's just not looking great, especially without the smoke on screen. Bardo just able to trade with that operator. Not ideal. Kurumi really could have made a run of things, pushing a little bit deeper if he was able to collect the gun, but Either way, it's made into the second to last round of the half, penultimate. Let's see, weak buys and comebacks getting aggressive here into screens. Make that bend is Zoheki drops him. Bray close with the Bucky, and this is an aggressive peek up from Joshy, who make that a first, make that not quite a second, but Pluto trades it. A 3v2 for KC. His gunfights went 1-on-1 on the other side of the map. Looking at this, J-Dog and Vibes versus Kurumi, Wari, and Pluto. J-Dog and Vibes have been nothing but great for PA. But I just have to wonder, can they overcome this disadvantage? Pluto has the bomb. Wari regrouping over towards B. It's looking like a B main 3-man take, which is exactly what you want. On PA, you got 2 people split up. You don't want to be splitting up in this man advantage here. PA are going to have to just still wait for the retake anyways. Unless Vibes can really get something done here. Vibes was really hoping they'd go through Heaven, but instead, just going to get stalled out. The smoke here. Wari trained his eyes on the angle, and the shot goes wide. There goes Pluto.
Spike down B.
Instead, 10 seconds on the board, and where he's going to have to plant it safe.
10 seconds
From the
left.
shadows in his mind as he's thinking, where do I ult?
Last player
Vibes takes
standing.
the satchel out and drops Kurumi. A 1v2 for Wari now. How do we get here? The TP play just not quite good enough in the open, and it's an 8th round. You can't help but ask, where was KC there? I mean, the plant, I get. The trade from Wari and Kurumi not being there, questionable. And then just one kill getting dropped in the middle of the open. Wari unable to trade. The spacing, the positioning there, just not good. And PA take advantage of that, even though they're down numbers with an op on the retake.
Yeah, just definitely, again, same thing. Like we said, they're just having a little bit too much staggered spacing between the players and not getting enough value out of their guns or their positioning.
AC seem like they're having a bit of a tough time here on this attack side.
Decoy.
Back to B, it seems. Comebacks went off his ult, grabbing the orb, and
My ult's ready.
kind of what you expect from them. Instead, coming back towards mid. Kurumi taking a second to break this wall, and very much in the open here, but no one on PA is able to contest. Comebacks, what can you tell us here? 1 player, 2 player.
On my mark.
Red player and blue player. We see 4 people towards the side of B, and we're still staying as Comebacks gets Josh. Bray staying around in mid. May be able to catch a rotate here. Bardo with the operator. B site is
Spike
taken,
planted.
and the bomb is down. Wari has confirmed some positioning in mid, but Bardo drops Frey. A little bit too loud too quickly here as a 4v4 now. Wari dropping down, and it's going to be all about Pluto's flank here. The timing. Bardo dropping Wari from Heaven is now Comebacks trapped in that corner. This is interesting. Behind the wall and gets the first 1v1. Bardo runs out of bullets, but he gets the shorty kill. 4 on the round and a 9-3 half. What a performance from Bardo. And what happened?
Switching sides.
How did everything go awry so quickly? You had a flank through from Heaven by Pluto, going 1-for-1 on site. Everything is happening all at once. Comebacks swinging through, getting the diffuser, but even though Bardo runs out of ammo, still able to confirm with the shorty, and that is crazy.
Really is. Bardo looking like me out there for real, getting some huge value on the Reyna on the side of Split.
Absolutely. Infamous Reyna player over here, and for Bardo,
No prisoners.
weird to be taking the bomb on Reyna, but either way, a very dominant performance in this first half. On the other side, AC looking troubled. Vibes up mid here, and Sheriff out from Vibes. Very aggressive buy as 3 players are now in A heaven. We're expecting this exploration from Vibes, but on the other side, pushing in on Pluto. What can you do here? Dizzy connects, broken, and they really want this exploration event. So many people over here. Frey getting caught out. Zoheki drops one, Convex with another, but it's the damage on the side of PA. 4v3, and Wari is down as a 4v2. Combax and Pluto versus 4. What can you make of things? Invent. Combax might have the timing on the
Spike
wall
planted.
here. Looking the wrong way, and Vibes is absolutely here to cause trouble. And Combax
enemy
is the
remaining.
third. J-Dog drops him. Almost
There.
beautiful, but instead, it's tragedy as Pluto in 45 HP, stuck behind the wall. And time is ticking down. This needs to be a clutch, and it needs to be now, or it is a 10-3 scoreline. And the bomb is so far away, it's almost impossible. The drop heard, and the time just isn't here. Even if you got on the bomb there, you didn't have time. And
Pulling them in.
that's a 10-3 scoreline. KC are falling
That
apart.
moment is gone. But it'd be cool, oh. Now we are here. Here.
It's not looking good at all. To this even worse round where they're at a disadvantage, and it looks like just trying to do whatever they can, picking up bits and pieces, stingers and marshals here and there to try and salvage any chance at their 3rd seed in the playoffs.
I mean, talk about 11 plants on the Gecko last game.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 this game. I mean, they have been so unsuccessful in getting the bomb down, and even when they have gotten the bomb down, they're just losing all their 1v1s. Their positioning's bad. They're not trading off each other. KC are a mess right now, and they need this round, or else they're 2 away from being locked out of that 3rd seed. Joshi holding for comebacks. The re-exploration is noted, and he's dinked. 115 to the brain as he backs up away from main. Bars. Worry. Sees that angle. Judge on attack. Vibes. What can you do here? Worry 1 for 1. Bardo once again being a menace. Being what PA needs. The X factor. Aggressive push already. As Joshi Poo dropped by
down,
Combax. Pluto dropped by Bardo, a 3v3. J-Dog peeking out. Kurumi gets 1, but J-Dog gets another. It's a 2v2 now. The 2-man retake
30
through
seconds
alley
left.
is commencing. Bomb down. This is looking difficult. Kurumi and Frey have to make something now, as this crossfire gets better and better as the bomb ticks down. Kurumi picking out,
1 enemy remaining.
getting dropped, and Frey. So Heki is there to win, and that is 11-3 for the side of PA. Utter domination.
On the side of KC. Sorry, on the side of PA. Read the scoreboard already.
This is rough. I mean, a couple times this season, but specifically with their previous roster, KC has struggled against teams that were below them. But this is really, really rough. I mean, this Vibes getting caught. This is a consolation prize. Frey drops Zoheki, stops Wari, and it's a 4v3 to force match point. Series point for PA. 4 players in heaven.
Handle this.
Comebacks. Ulting through. That's a clone that distracts him, but Bardo's tucked. Pluto trying to get the angle, and J-Dog is here. That Molly not quite connecting. Comebacks going 1 for 1 with Kurumi, and now Bardo drops down. Won't expect another, and there goes
Last player
1v1.
standing.
The captain versus the captain. J-Dog versus Comebacks, and that's a shot off the spike. A jiggle. It's not Kang Kang. It's catastrophe for KC as it goes to 12-3.
There's nothing that Comebacks can do to stop it. Just a horrible position to be trying to
Match
fight back
point.
when they sight there.
That is tough. 9 rounds away from overtime. I'm not gonna count. You can't count KC out. They've been strong this whole season, but in a time like this, it feels over. It feels really difficult. Still, guns on the side of KC. They have something to work with. This opening duel could be everything as Kurumi walks down. Peeking out mid, getting curious. These walkabouts have been nothing but dangerous. And Vibes is just so aware. And Kurumi able to win the fight. Big opening pick for KC. This is exactly what they needed to be doing. Still. Comebacks in the corner. Frey on site to help. Josh, you can catch comebacks on the cross. This could be big. Instead, silent walk up, and that cam spots them. First trip broken, and Frey accurately dealing huge damage in main. These rounds slipping by. 5v4 here. So Heki in the position. If you want to be winning this right now, so Heki really needs to be one to get the lurk pick here. Kurumi taking the peek out is
30 seconds
the
left.
declaration, and there goes Zoheki, an equalizer to make this a 4v4, make it a 4v3 as Pluto gets dropped. There goes Comebacks. One coming through, and it's a 2-man hold towards Alley. 10 seconds left on the clock, and this should be over.
10 seconds left.
The spam coming out. It's beautiful, but it's not a denial as Bardo gets out and Comebacks slips away. Now a 2v3.
One enemy remaining.
Make that a 1v3 as Comebacks desperately trying to win this round for his team. 11 HP in the 1v2. He's been stellar all season. Do you have anything left for us, Comebacks? Or is it all over? And Zoheki
Attackers
closes
win.
a 13-3 map 2 victory for PA, makes it 1-1 on the day, and KC are not going to be seed 3 in playoffs. What just happened?
13-3 scoreline.
I feel like that game was shorter than one of the halves in the last game.
And with an overtime as well, it felt quite a lengthy game over on Sunset.
I have to agree. I mean, PA just utterly dominated that map. On the other side, I mean, KC just could not figure things out. On the attack side, they were routinely getting cut off even before they got out of the choke. And on the defense side, they were just getting rolled over in these positions where maybe there's 1 or 2 people there, but PA just played it with all 5, and they were just able to just death ball around the map on that attack side and utterly dominate KC on split.
They really were. And like we mentioned, the player we were looking out for there was Vibes after his performance on Sunset, but it was almost effortless on the side of PA, not even needing to step up. Bardo just taking matters into his own hands and taking things all the way through almost, it seems.
Absolutely. I mean, Bardo just absolutely rolled over the enemy team there on the attack side, and it just wasn't happening today for KC. I mean, Comebacks really never got online, and it's just everything was coming up PA in that second map. I don't know. It wasn't just one change they needed to make. It was just everything. Everything for KC fell apart in that second map. I mean, we saw it at the turn of the half on Sunset, where all of a sudden PA just looked different. And even though they lost that game, they just came out swinging on the second map. They look like a new team after the first half of map 1. Like they just rolled and smoked.
They really did, just carrying through all of that momentum all the way through the second half. And it's this series as well, just not giving it a single moment to breathe over on split. Like you can see there on the timeline, 13-3, utter domination, not possible at all to stop that one.
I mean, it was just round after round. They were just absolutely hammering the sights, hammering the extremities, and just winning every fight. KC could not get out of those chokes, and they were just, I mean, the magic was gone on map 2.
It was so shocking as well, seeing how Casey started off really strong on their attack for Sunset, despite having a double Sentinel comp. And then, despite having double duelist going into attack on split, you'd think they'd be able to carry that all the way through, but just not able to pull it through, man. Not able to play their strengths at all.
Absolutely. Well, pretty soon here, we're going to get to an interview with one of the PA members to discuss their map 2 victory. But that was, I mean, I feel like in the back of my head, at least, I was expecting PA to, you know, sort of be a little bit more relaxed. You know, they're out of playoffs, so I didn't think that they were going to take it so seriously, but they really cared. And they honestly, they balled out in that second map.
Cannot argue with that one. They certainly put on quite a show.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to transition here into our interview in just a little bit here with Zoheki from the side of PA. Stick with us. We want to hear what they have to say about the season and the game at large. Stay tuned.
Hi.
All right, Zoheki, talk to us. Here's, I guess, my first question. You guys looked pretty down and out in the first half of Sunset. It was a 3-1 lead into a 3-8 deficit, and you ended up taking it into overtime. What was the change that you guys made there in towards that second half that really led you guys to revitalizing your performances?
Honestly, that sunset comp, we've never done that before. It was just something we got right before it. We knew it could work well, but we just weren't practiced with it. So we weren't. The util was just all off, really. It just sucked. That's about it. We just needed to warm up on that comp, and then we're chilling.
Awesome, yeah. Obviously, on the second map, you guys absolutely rolled over KC. What happened there? Are you guys just like the greatest split team of all time, or like?
Oh yeah,
what was going on?
So we ran one scrim. It was just 3 of our players. We had the Vibes J-Dog. We ran that Astra Viper, and that works phenomenally. Like it's people don't really run it anymore, but it's just such a good comp. No one in like our tier really knows how to play against it, it seems, and it shows.
Yeah, I thought you guys' control, specifically over the A ramp area, was absolutely choking out KC in the beginnings of their attack rounds. But I guess, as far as I'm aware, you guys' season ends today. Talk to me about just your season overall. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll say that the PA season early on it was a complete shit show because there's a ton of moves. There was the whole Smurf thing. Me and Vibes, our duelist, actually joined last month, and since we've joined then, we've shown that we're a really good team. We've gone positive. We're winning a lot. But it just unfortunately we did not have our team soon enough to get our record better. We've been winning. We got ourselves out of last, and it's just really unfortunate that this team that we have now we didn't have earlier on in the season.
It is very unfortunate. I guess now while you're on the stream here, do you have like anybody you want to shout out or like anything you want to say to general VDC like community here.
Oh, of course. I just think Expert is lucky that we're not in playoffs.
I have to agree. I think you guys played really well today.
Thank you.
Uh,
We're also one more thing. I think it's funny. We keep fucking up the seeding. Oh wait, can I? So
ideally not.
sorry.
It's okay.
Early on, so there was Mafia's number 1. We 2-0 them, and then it was right after that the team number 1 seed. We 2-0 them, and then this team needed to 2-0 us for a better seed, and then obviously they didn't get that. So we're just messing with people. It's like we're basically out, but we're just trying to have fun, and I don't know. I think those are the scariest teams to go against, is if they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think you guys did a great job today. Congratulations. I know it sucks that your season ends here, but I think you guys all played phenomenally. Congratulations on your map 2 win.
Thank you.
Fable, do you have any thoughts, any questions?
Nothing too much. It was just awesome watching you play, man. And I look forward to seeing what you bring to VDC in the following season.
Oh, thank you. We're really exciting. We can't play more, but it was fun. Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. It was a great game day today. We saw a 1-1 between